It's been 1 year since the Supreme Court decision overturning Roe v. Wade. Since then, 14 states, including Kentucky, have banned most abortions. The Commonwealth became one of the first states to do so with a so-called trigger law, restricting access immediately. WHAS11's Taylor Woods and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie revisit that historic day and the changes we've seen on both sides of the argument since.
1 year ago, hundreds of Kentuckians took to the streets in protest of the U.S. Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. For Kentucky, its impact was immediate as the state's trigger law took effect, banning abortion in most cases. For the pro-life side, it marked a victory decades in the making.
And a victory for human life, for unborn children, and for the rule of law.
Saturday, Democratic Congressman Morgan McGarvey discussed how reproductive rights for women have been taken away.
The results have been dramatic, they have been drastic, they have been devastating. Right now in Kentucky, no woman can receive an abortion, even in cases of rape or incest.
The Family Foundation wants to see continued support to protect unborn life.
Moving forward to provide women and families the resources that they need to raise their children.
McGarvey added the work does not stop here. He's part of a group to push the Women's Health Protection Act to help women get safe access to abortion care.
We filed a motion this week to push that bill forward to make sure it gets a vote on the House floor. We need just a few Republicans to join us in that effort.
One lawsuit challenging the Kentucky abortion ban has been withdrawn so far.
And whether or not they want to participate in a high-profile lawsuit in this climate, it's very difficult to find that person to come forward.
However, Planned Parenthood is reminding Kentuckians they are not going anywhere.
These doors stay open. Through thick and thin, we will be fighting for the future we know is possible.
Ultimately, we want to move towards a society where abortion is just unthinkable, and that each and every unborn child is welcomed into this world as a blessing.
A historic decision 1 year ago today, motivating both sides to keep on fighting. In Louisville, Taylor Woods, WHAS 11 on your side.
In the years since, many doctors providing care for pregnant patients in states restricting abortion access like Kentucky have been faced with a choice, whether or not to practice medicine elsewhere.
Kentucky is facing a huge need, healthcare in general, but particularly maternal healthcare. 70 out of the 120 counties don't have any OBGYN provider.
All right, that's Dr. Alicia Fields. She decided to move back to Kentucky around the time the Supreme Court draft opinion first leaked. That was about May. She practices in Pulaski County and used to provide abortions in Louisville. She said that she tries to provide the best care possible given her current limitations.
And beyond abortion restrictions, there's still a lot of work to be done here in terms of access to contraception and just education of communities and healthcare providers around what comprehensive and compassionate reproductive health care looks like.
Right now, Fields is able to provide her patients information on out-of-state abortion providers. She can also prescribe birth control and offer permanent sterilization, something she said that more of her patients are seeking at this time. A Radcliffe woman is facing felony charges after law enforcement found 21 dogs inside her home dead. They also recovered 14 other neglected dogs. Among those dead, officers say were 2 dogs found decomposing in the woman's car. Her name is Morgan Barrick. She's now charged with 36 felonies. We spoke with some of Barrick's neighbors back in May, many shocked by what they were hearing.
I never once thought that my dog was being starved and tortured and burnt.
I can't even bring him home in a box, and she doesn't have any sort of remorse or any explanation.
At the time of her arrest, Barrick was a well-known kennel owner. She is scheduled to appear in court next month. Over in southern Indiana, no jail time for the former owner of the Jeffersonville Funeral Home, where 31 decomposing bodies and 17 sets of cremains were recovered last July. Randy Langford pled guilty to 43 felony theft charges last month. Friday, a judge sentenced him to 4 years of supervised release, with one of those years being spent under house arrest. During his sentencing, Langford had to hear from some of the dozens of families impacted.
Put yourself in my shoes, Mr. Langford. What if this were your only son? Can you imagine the last time you got to see your child was in an almost completely decomposed state because the person you entrusted him with was negligent?
While he sat expressionless throughout all 7 victim statements, Langford then offered up words of remorse to those families.
I want you to know that there's not a day that goes by that I do not regret my decisions, that I don't regret the actions that I displayed.
Now, at least 20 families are now suing Langford in various civil cases. He's scheduled to be at a restitution hearing on September 20th. Here in Louisville, the Office of Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods kicked off its Safe Summer campaign. It was marked by various community events taking place across 5 metro neighborhoods. In the Southwick neighborhood, that was actually one of them, and they invited some very special guests to attend from the U of L football team. You can see them right there on your screen playing games with the kids and celebrating the community. Organizers say the events are all about starting off summer right and safely.
Last week or earlier this week, we announced that we're going to do extended hours at our community centers across some of West Louisville and some other community centers throughout metro area. And so we're just here to let them know that we're here for you and that we'd like to just spend a day with you and just celebrate it.
The site featured family fun activities like petting zoos, food trucks, video game trucks. That's actually a new one, I've never heard of that, and inflatables. All right, now this weekend we celebrate the Smoketown Family Wellness Center, marking 5 years of service in the community. The center's belief is that all children deserve reliable health care. It aims to provide that to children in a community-based environment. Smoketown Family Wellness Center founder Dr. Charlotte Gay-Stites said that care spans both physical and mental wellness.
Often it takes more than just a checkup to be healthy, and so we try to support families with more than that. So we have a prescriptive food pantry in partnership with Dare to Care. We offer Fresh Stop shares, which are bags of fresh, local, organic food. We have growing columns inside. We have a community garden plot. We offer behavioral health services, and we do a variety of programming. So really just trying to support families to raise their children to be healthy in mind, body, and spirit.
And a very special shout out to our very own Shirlene Shanklin, who hosted today's event for the Wellness Center.